Saruman's shattered look after Sauron's order is not just fear, it is the scars of a psychic war. Every use of the Palantir forces him to fight Sauron's will, risking his mind with every meeting, and the strain is mounting. Here is what almost nobody realizes. Saruman is not just surviving this influence, he is secretly lying to Mordor while plotting for the ring himself. That is why this moment matters more than you think. The cost of resisting Sauron is written across Saruman's face, and the real story begins inside that drained stare. The Palantír of Orthanc was never meant to be a weapon. Forged in the First Age by the elves of Valinor, these indestructible crystal spheres were designed for rulers to communicate and see across distance. Tools of trust, not tyranny. But in Saruman's hands and under Sauron's gaze, the stone becomes something else entirely. The moment Saruman lays his hand on the Palantir, he is not opening a line of dialogue. He is entering a contest of wills, where the stronger mind does not just see, the stronger mind commands. Tolkien's text makes this clear. Saruman was eventually overcome by the superior will of Sauron. The Palantir amplifies pressure, not just vision. When two stones are linked, the one who holds greater power can twist the connection, flooding the weaker user with images, commands, and threats. It is not a conversation. It is a psychic vice clamping down until something gives way. The films hint at this with chilling clarity. When Saruman uses the Orthanc stone, a swirling haze fills the crystal, a visual echo of mental fog and confusion. Later, when Pippin touches the Palantir, his hands lock to the surface, unable to break free as Sauron's will pours through. The stone binds, paralyzes, and inspects. For Saruman, every session is a test of endurance. Each contact is a battle to keep his mind his own. Gandalf's warning is sharp. A Palantir is a dangerous tool, not just because of what can be seen, but because of who is watching. The stones respond to rightful authority, but Sauron's claim is absolute. His presence on the other end of the line is not passive, it is invasive, inspecting, probing for weakness. Saruman, a Maya spirit in mortal form, should be nearly immune to mortal manipulation. But the Palantir does not care about titles. It cares about strength of will, and Sauron's is overwhelming. The effect is not subtle. Saruman's hand trembles after each use. His eyes lose focus, as if the world itself has thinned. The Palantir is supposed to grant far sight, but for Saruman, it narrows his vision to a single, suffocating point. Sauron's will pressing down, leaving no room for doubt or mercy. Every order received through the stone is a reminder. He is not an equal, he is being dominated. And the cost of resistance is written in every line of his face. Gandalf's testimony cuts through the fog. Saruman wasn't shattered by a single encounter with Sauron. He was worn down by a relentless pattern. In Tolkien's words, Saruman was drawn back again and again, each summons through the Palantir demanding another round of psychic endurance. What looks like a moment of weakness on screen is actually the latest scar in a long campaign. The stone wasn't just a hotline for orders, it became an instrument of surveillance and interrogation, with Sauron's will reaching out at unpredictable intervals, prying for secrets and pressing for submission. By the time the command to build an army lands, Saruman is already half ruined. Gandalf describes him as a figure battered by repeated inspection, never allowed to rest, never truly alone. Each call is a test. Resist too much, and Sauron senses defiance. Yield too easily, and the last shreds of independence are lost. The Palantir doesn't just tire the body, it erodes the mind. The toll is cumulative, not dramatic. Eyes dull, posture slumps, voice loses its edge. The films capture this in quick flashes, Saruman's hand shaking as he releases the stone, a flicker of dread before his mask returns. The frequency of these psychic invasions is not spelled out, but Tolkien's language, often called probed when he concealed information, paints a picture of constant pressure. This is not the fate of a man caught once, but of a mind battered by siege. The cost is not just exhaustion, it is the slow, grinding loss of self. Gandalf, as outside observer, recognizes the signs. He warns that a Palantir is a dangerous tool, not for its physical threat, but for the way it can hollow out even the strongest will. Saruman's drained expression after Sauron's command is the visible residue of these countless battles. It is not the look of a servant dreading punishment. It is the face of someone who has been forced to fight for ownership of his own thoughts again and again, and who knows the next assault is never far away. Saruman's exhaustion hides a second, more dangerous story. Under the weight of Sauron's will, he does not simply break, he calculates. While Isengard's master appears battered, his mind is already working on a secret plan. Tolkien writes in Unfinished Tales, Saruman learned much that he kept secret. He seems to have begun to desire some independent share or exercise of power. Yet Sauron too had seen Saruman's secret thought. That is the real twist. The battered wizard is not just resisting domination, he is lying to the Dark Lord, gambling that he can serve Sauron just enough to survive, while quietly hunting the ring for himself. Every Palantir encounter becomes a high-wire act. Saruman must obey, but not too much. He must resist, but not so openly that Sauron notices. And above all, he must conceal his private ambition. The drained face is the mask of a double agent. It is not just the cost of resisting Sauron's will, it is the price of hiding a lie that could mean instant destruction if revealed. Here is the part most viewers miss. Saruman's panic is the panic of a mind caught between annihilation and treachery. Sauron does not lash out the instant he senses Saruman's duplicity. He waits. This is not the rage of a tyrant. It is the patience of a master tactician who knows the value of letting a piece move before snapping the trap shut. In Unfinished Tales, Saruman's sabotage is met with a silent counter. Sauron starts to rely less on the White Wizard and more on agents who cannot betray him at all. The Ringwraiths, Nazgûl, are the perfect thralls, stripped of free will, immune to bribes or lies, and driven only by Sauron's will. When Saruman withholds information or misdirects the hunt for the ring, Sauron simply shifts his trust. The eye watches, but it does not always strike. Instead, it observes, records, and waits for the moment when Saruman's usefulness runs out. This is the logic of domination by degrees. Sauron's patience is not mercy, it is cold calculation. By letting Saruman remain in play, he keeps Isengard's industry and knowledge working for him while tightening the leash through servants who cannot think for themselves. The chessboard is set, and every move is watched. 3 faces, 3 fates, each marked by contact with the Palantir. Aragorn, heir of Elendil, grips the stone only once. His jaw clenches, sweat beads on his brow, and for a moment the effort to seize control is etched across his face. But Aragorn's ordeal ends quickly. His will is strong and the danger passes. Denethor, last steward of Gondor, fares much worse. Prolonged secret use of the Anor stone hollows him out. His eyes grow wild, his mind collapses into despair, and by the end, he is a shell consumed by visions Sauron chooses to show him. Saruman stands between these extremes. He is no mortal, but each session with the Orthanc stone leaves him visibly drained. After Sauron's command, Saruman's face is a mask of exhaustion, the lines deepened by a war fought in silence. Unlike Denethor, he refuses to surrender. Unlike Aragorn, he cannot walk away. The cost is visible every time he orders the Uruk-hai to hunt for the ring, serving Sauron to his face but always with an eye on his own secret prize. The Palantir does not just punish the weak, it exposes the toll of resisting, lying and surviving all at once. Every time a mind wages secret war under pressure, something cracks. In Middle-earth and beyond, power still breeds hidden struggles, costs that rarely show on the surface. The scars of these battles shape choices long after. What willpower survives and at what price is always the deeper question. Thanks for watching.